forgot to add me. Hello, everyone. I am Val Jean, and this is my world. At least the way I see it. If you are happy with the current regime, walk on by. This is not the channel for you. If you are not happy and you want to do something about it, come on in, pull up a seat, get a pencil and a piece of paper because we do give homework. Well, let me greet the fam first and then we'll get into it. Dinky Jen, hello, good to see you, sweetheart. She is working on her luck of the draw and she has water and Lucozade beside her. Oh, oh, and she's eating a Cadbury bar. I have cucumber water and ice. Pollen and everything has me dragging. We're voting on the 7th of May for our local council elections. Miss Susan, welcome in. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. How are you? And there's my sis, Andrea. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. Well, you know, I had to go to the VA today and get my badge because they were worrying me about this badge. And I walked in, and on the wall is this great big picture of 47, and on one side of him was Shady, and on the other side of him was Hexbeth. I seriously thought about turning around and going back out, but I didn't want them calling me again about the daggum badge. So I just persevered, but I'm like, oh, Lord, really? And I know it was not up there the last time I was there. But I was like, oh, gosh. So I went up. I got my badge. And they can stop worrying me. And then he says, now you know that you can use this on a plane. You don't have to take your passport. And I'm like, what else can I do with this? He says, oh, you can get into any government building. I'm like, thank you, but no thank you. Oh, you're about to take a nap? Mr. Sailor is asleep and you have to catch up. Are you going to go live this afternoon? Because I went over to get your link so I could drop it in the chat, and I did not see where you had scheduled one. Yeah, I got my badge. Ooh, Lord. Darcia, welcome in. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. How are you? Let's see if Andrea says we're going to do a Val Jean raid or if we're just going to go on our merry way. And we left the ball game early. No, ma'am. Saturdays at 8 p.m. Eastern now. You know I'm not going to remember that. Saturdays, so that'd be 7 p.m. Central. Okay. You know I'm not going to remember that. Thank you, Cam. Chris, welcome in. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. How are you? So, a couple of things to start watching out for. You know, we talked about we're having our local elections April the 7th, and they mailed out these polling cards for us and told us about our districts and what our little laws and everything are. We have no excuse voting satellite sites. We have absentee voting hours. And where you can drop in your ballots or mail them to. They have other little blurbs in the interior. Oh, no, in the interior. Let me take that back and say that correctly. In the interior is your sample ballot so that you can read what you're going to be voting on. And you know how they always put all those little cards in your mail or in your door. You can really research the candidates and mark your sample ballot with who you're going to vote for, and take this with you so you don't have to hem and haw and think about, oh, who did I say I was voting for? Mark your sample ballot after you do your research, because every candidate is going to say something negative about their opponent. That's just the way it works. So everybody's going to say something negative about their opponent. So it's up to you to do your research and decide who you want to vote for, and fill out your ballot and I usually take it with me. You can take a picture of it with your phone and take your phone with you. But the important part is on the front, where it tells you exactly where you can go to vote. And this is the important thing, so that we don't get stuck with what happened in Texas, where they changed the laws and then you go to where you normally go vote, and then they're like, oh no, you got to go over here to go vote. And you're like, I'm on my lunch. I don't have time to go over there. And then have them extend polls for 2 more hours, and have Paxton go run to his friend, the judge, who says, oh no, we're going to hold the ballots from 9 o'clock. I'm sorry, what? So make sure you know where you're supposed to go and vote. And luckily, where I normally vote, a block and a half from my house, is still on my list of places I can vote. Yay me. Andrea will be doing a premiere on Ola Joe the Crocheting Sailor tonight at 7 p.m. Okay, sis. BB, welcome in. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. How are you? She says, yay. Did I miss anybody? If I did, count it to my head, not my heart. Pebbly Pooh, welcome in. Always good to see you. Always good to see you. And you fill out yours before you get there. Yeah, I do too. And especially when they say, so and so only attended 30 out of 50 meetings, so why are they going to go up for election again when they don't attend the meetings? Well, you can go into the website and see how many meetings they attended and what they voted for, and make sure that how they vote aligns with how you would want them to vote, which is the problem that we're having now with our representatives. They say, my constituents say, not necessarily. And we have to have that camaraderie on the local level as well. And on my way to the VA today, they were saying that there are 38, I believe, Republicans who are not going up for re-election in November. They said that is the lowest it's been since 2018, when 34 did not go up for re-election. And I'm driving and I go, 2018? Oh, that was Trump's first term. Rats are jumping the sinking ship. That's all I'm going to say. BJ, one of your Michigan people left, and no, I don't know who. Oh. Okay. Democrat or Republican? Andrea is drinking 19 crimes. Cali Blanc, Sauvignon Blanc, before my nap. Snoop vibes. Okay. Okay. I'd be up going to the bathroom, but that's just me. Go for it. They all biggie. Yeah, they're all biggie. Yeah, check the candidates' voting records. Exactly. Check their voting records. And then, too, check who funds them. Jen says, depends, Chris, on who's up to be voted for. Well, yeah, it depends upon who's up to be voted for, but also if they vote in a line with what you want. Oh, I know who that is. He's not in my he's a local. He's one of the representatives, but he's a state representative. He's not a federal representative. I started to listen to Hawley's little confab that he did, and when I clicked in, he was addressing a congregation, and I only got two sentences in, and I had to turn it off because I couldn't stand to listen to him. First of all, it grated on my nerves that he was standing up in a church like I did not want to see lightning strike him. And second of all, he just worries me. Check if they are taking money from APAC. Thank you, BB, because that was my next statement. I started to say that, but I wanted to finish out my thought and then come back to that. Yeah, because that's part of the problem here. The representative who was here last time, and they said A, that she was never there, B, that she hired her husband as head of her security. And then we had Wesley Bell come in, and he gave all the speeches, he said all the good things. And so far Wesley actually seems to be doing the job. But yes, he took money from Apex, and I'm like, okay, you got a woman who's not doing the job, or you got a man who's doing the job and takes money from APAC. We can't win. But so far, what Wesley seems to be doing the job. I have to check his voting record. But I've even been to his town hall and asked him questions, and he said all the right things. Susan says our next California election is June the 2nd, statewide primary. Ooh, good luck. Good luck. Do you still have the Frozen crew running around Cali? Pebble says our county candidates talked about the importance of Medicaid home care hours, then all voted against the funding. Help me, Lord. Have you already had your vote, Pebbles? Start a campaign to get them voted out, because that that that's I don't even have words for how wrong that is. Yeah, start a campaign on voting those people out, because that's just wrong on too many levels. They are here mostly east San Joaquin. Yeah, because San Juan's in Puerto Rico. In the San Joaquin Valley. Ooh, yeah. It says we have to vote them all out because they say they say one thing and then do another. No, ma'am. No, ma'am, what? This information was posted on a Facebook page, County by County for the Disabled. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Oh, San Jose. Do you know the way to San Jose? Okay. not in the San Joaquin Valley. They're in San Jose. Ooh, that's that's bad too. Ooh, ooh, ooh. New York City primary elections will be in June. So we have ours in April. Somebody said they have theirs in May. You have yours in June. We're just gonna spread them all out. And BB, the other thing is at this point in time, we're gonna vote all blue. We're gonna do a blue tsunami. Once we get the majority in the House and the Senate and get all of this stuff cleaned up, please, Lord, let us get all this stuff cleaned up. Then we can start going after the ones who take APAC money and the crooked Democrats like Fetterman. Yeah, Fetterman got to go. So, right now, I'm recommending we just do a blanket blue because we need the numbers. Right now, we're fighting uphill with no weapons. We got to get our weapons, and then we can start doing our court martials. And maybe by 2028, we'll have a government we can actually do something with. Please, Lord, let me live long enough to see it because this is just ugly. Yeah, blew up and down the ballot. I don't care who they are. I don't care what they said. I don't care what they've done. Just vote blue. And then we can get the bad blue out. Because, yes, there is bad blue there. But we need the numbers. We need the numbers. Okay, Jen's is May, but I'm not included in your voting. Mine is local council only, not major government yet. But get your council members the way you want it. Because they take it... excuse me, they control your day-to-day existence, so you need to have the ones in there that you want. Jeffries and Torres from New York take it. Yeah, I was so disappointed in Hakeem. Yeah, and the one who didn't take APAC money, Jasmine Crockett, that's the one they were trying to get out. AOC, they primaried her. It's like, why are you trying to shoot yourself in the foot? You've got good people there. You've got honest people there. Yet still you want to play this money game. And for a certain part you got to play a little bit of money game because of all these ads and everything. But still, when you take money from places like APAC, they expect you to vote positively in their interests, which is really not voting for your constituents. You're voting for the people who gave you money, which is why we're boycotting everybody who gave money to 47, because we didn't want him in there. Yeah. Pebble says, start at the beginning. District, judges, county, then state, then federal. District, judges, county, state, federal. Now watch her tell me I forgot somebody. Did anyone else notice that the cold agents at the airports don't meet the guidelines given to the generals? But they're special employees and they're not in the military. And the Secretary of Defense is starting to look a little ragged. I'm happy for him. And she's in love with AOC's district. Oh, you live in AOC's district. The woman is on point. Love going to her Zoom meetings because you learn a lot. She has a YouTube channel, and I watch her YouTube channel, and yeah, you learn a lot. And she tells you the straight poop. She really does. I love AOC. And you live in her district. Go ahead, BB. Go ahead. I'm so mad at Texas, I don't know what to do. Tyler Perry tried to donate to the TSA, resulted in gift cards. Now officials want TSA to return funds. One of our bigwigs, a McMillan, I think he donated $50,000 worth of gift cards to our TSA here in St. Louis. Wesley Bell came down here for that. Uh, and they had said Elon Musk was going to pay TSA out of his own pocket, and I don't know what became of that. I really don't know if I would want Musk's money, but you got to pay your bills. Yeah, that's crazy. How can they say give the money back? Well, federal employees are really not supposed to take gifts, but I believe the cutoff is $50. So if the gift cards are in denominations of $49 or below, as long as they declare that they received this money, they don't have to give them back. They gave 47 a whole jet. They bought Christy Nome not one, but two jets. So why are they going to tell the TSA to give back their little old gift cards? Okay, somebody's pinging me. What did I miss? Oh, Lord. Oh, okay. Dinky Jen sent, I don't know if I can get this over here. Yes, I can. Sent pictures of their poll cards. Oh, Lord. Hold on, I'm trying to couple these windows. I don't want to couple, so we're going to have to do it. Okay, fine. We'll have to do it this way. Un momento, por favor. Thank you, Dinky Jen. I'm trying to share. That was you. And we are paying for the repairs of that jet. I know. And we wrote about that too, because there was no reason for us to have to pay to have that thing bulletproofed. And he's going to take it with him when he leaves. No, that's not right. It's if it's not government property and going to stay in the government, then we should not have to pay for it out of our tax dollars. Okay, let's see. Okay, got it, 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 got it. Oh, wait. Oh, it works. Okay. No, but that doesn't work. I'm going to take me down so I make it bigger. Thank you, Dinky Jen. There we go. So theirs is a poll card. Elections of councilors to Kingston upon Hull City Council. And then they have an Avenue Ward. Their voting information. They have their polling day, their voting hours. Ooh, you go to they go from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. Okay, now. Uh, excuse me. Your polling station will be, and they tell her where she can go to vote. They give a number for the helpline, their email address, and their website. And then they give all of the what's illegal. It's an offense too. And then if you are away and cannot go to the polling station on Thursday, they give you two options on what to do. And if after 5 p.m. on Tuesday, the 28th of April, you are unable to vote in person because, and they give you different scenarios of why you cannot vote. Then oh, I can't do that from here. Hold on, I got to go back over here. I should be able to do everything from where I am, but no. I has to go other places. Oh, did you send me the second page? There we go. And then they have their accepted forms of photographic identification. Ooh, Lord, you have a whole lot more than we have. And then they say if you do not possess any of the above forms of photographic identification, you can apply to your local electoral registration officer for a free voter authority certificate or apply online, and they give you the online address. Completed applications must reach us before 5 p.m. on Tuesday, the 28th of April. Very comprehensive. And then they come down and they say, remember, there are other ways you can vote. That's great. Thank you, Jen. That is great. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, you all are more user friendly than ours are. Well, ours used to be that user friendly, but you know what's going on over here. Pebble says, fasten your seatbelts and not fact checked. Tyrant says, loopholes found to get third term. It's unlocked. Hold on, everybody. Un momento, por favor. Aaliyah, it's unlocked. I unlocked it and then locked it back. I'm sorry. I just unlocked it. I was on the porch. Don't tell me I'm not a creature of habit. I unlocked it, opened the door to make sure it was unlocked, saw a flyer that had fallen out of my door, went out, got the flyer, straightened out my mat outside, came in and locked the door. Because once I come in, I lock the door. It's automatic. Oh, child. Pebble says he used mail-in for his area, blue one anyway. I saw that. But he doesn't want mail-in ballots. But he mailed his in. Yes, and he is trying to remove. Yes, he is. Sam, welcome in. Honey, don't lurk. Come on in. Join the fam. We're talking about getting our country back here. He mailed his in. So in our this lady was handing these out on handing these out after church on Sunday, and these were the voter guides. And I asked her, was it for St. Louis City? And she said yes. And I thanked her and I said, I'm in St. Louis County. And she's like, that's okay because these are the laws. So this was from the Post Dispatch. I don't know if she paid for all of these because they charge for these now. But it is a full sections. They give you the voting guide, the local election authorities, they tell you, they start out with St. Louis County, and they list all of the various municipalities in St. Louis County and what is up for vote. Let's see. St. Louis County is on page 1. St. Louis City is on 17, as is St. Charles County. Jefferson County is on 21, and Franklin County is on 25. So we've got 28 pages of voting material for our St. Louis surrounding area. So I have to go through this, but I don't have to go through it because I got my little thing right here. But it's nice to see what the other people are voting for. And then, as we showed before, where you excuse me, where you could go on, what was it, ballot.com or Ballotpedia, and you can look up who's in your area and their education and who they have voted for in the past. Sam, stop lurking. Everybody's speaking to you. So, that's what I have on voting. I have not looked at 47 because he makes my head hurt. I saw a meme that said, every time he wakes up, he looks to see what he could F up the day. Now he has sent special forces to Iran. He said he's going to get their uranium and bring it back. And one of the reporters politely pointed out that the uranium is not sitting above ground. The uranium is underground. So if you're going to send special forces in there, first of all, they got to land. They got to find the tunnels. They've got to go underground to get the uranium. And then you've got people that have to stay above ground to try to protect them, to get them out, get the uranium loaded back up, and get it over here. That's a suicide mission. That's as bad as D-Day. And God love the people who are following his orders. I don't know that I would be able to do that. I think I would just retire, and I'd have to go work in the private sector until he's gone, and then try to re-enlist again. Because this and you can't listen to him talk, because he'll tell you that they've met all of his terms, and then he'll tell you that our allies aren't sending him any help. And then he'll say that we don't need anybody's help because we have the greatest army in the world. And this is all in the same talking point. My brain can't flip-flop like that. And when you listen to him speak, excuse me, and if they don't edit the heck out of it, you can tell that he's dithering and he has no idea what he's talking about. And I cannot understand why they haven't taken him down. Because he doesn't have a full deck. He doesn't know what he's saying. He's just blathering. And people are just standing there following him, and they all know that he doesn't know what's going on. He's threatening to obliterate the electric grid, infrastructure, and water reserves. Could be war crime. And he hit not only that school, but he hit a gym in Iran. And so the Iranians said, okay, every civilian building of ours that you hit, we're going to hit one of yours. So they're hitting hotels and whatnot in the surrounding areas that are U.S. based. And people have been complaining that Iran is bombing countries that are not in the conflict, but Iran is bombing the U.S. installation that is in those countries. But he is the president of peace. Susan said he doesn't know where the uranium is located. He probably thinks it's in baskets. I wonder if he even knows that it is mined. They went around today on Don Lemon and they were asking people to write in and say how much their gas is. And I think Las Vegas had gas almost $6 a gallon. California is really going up. Susan, you can tell us what the gas is in your area. I know our gas has gone from 269 a gallon to 389. And it has not been this high since we had the shortage. What was that, 2015? It got almost to $4 a gallon, but it's 389 now. Pebble says it's over $4 in her area. OMG. Chris, do you know what it is in Illinois? And BB, do you know what it is in New York? Mandy, welcome in. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. Mandy, how much is your gas up there? $5.65 regular at a corner market. Ooh, Lord. I think the cheapest that I had found gas when I was doing the reunions, and this was before lockdown, was in Arkansas. The I think Blytheville, Arkansas, the Missouri Arkansas border had the cheapest gas. And then when I went to Alabama, I think the cheapest gas was in Mississippi. I don't know what it is now. Mandy says I think it was 380 last I got it. Ooh. Somebody on Don Lemon said it cost $75 to fill up their vehicle. He did not say if it was diesel or if it was regular. I think I saw where our diesel is $4.89 a gallon. I'm glad I did not get that Volkswagen that needed diesel fuel. Chris says the men who would get rid of him are making money if he stays. And that's the sad part. That's the sad part. Because the more he does, the richer the rich folks get, and the poor folks get. And you can't get people to tell him no, 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 because they're banking on this. Do y'all have access to Gas Buddy app? Finds lowest gas. I do, but I just go down here on the corner because I would spend more money on the gas, getting the gas from the Gas Buddy app than if I do just getting it on the corner. They are remodeling my gas station again. So when we go to dance class, I get the gas down there. And it's cheaper if you pay in cash. But I never know how much gas my car needs. So I can't go in and say, okay, I want to fill it up. Because I don't know how much fill up is. I can stay in there and pay at the pump and fill it up. Mandy drives a minivan, so it costs at least $60 to fill her van. Ooh, girl. Chris said it was three something. BB says it's $3.94 in the Bronx. Do you remember what it was before? Jen says, found out today some of our petrol stations are closing early or leaving only one pump open. Our petrol is approximately 1.5 pounds per liter, and diesel approximately 1.7 to 1.8 pounds. Oh, yep, it's greed. It's greed. It's when you have them shifting the rules so the rich people get richer and they're the powerful people, they're not going to stop him because they're getting the money for that, even if it's wrong. And that's the sad part. Remember last week we talked about ethics? They have no ethics. Don't know how many liters in your gallon drums. I don't either. You know I can't do metric. And I go into the office 4 days a week, and my work is 40 minutes away from my home. So that's fun too. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Are they making any plans to let you all start going remote again? My daughter is facing the same thing because when the Doge crew came in and said everybody had to go back into the office, yeah, I think she lives about 18 miles from here. Chris says I think she works about 18 miles from here. Chris says all the positions of power he has installed, white men, except let me know if wrong, please. FBI director and the director of HUD are the only two. Everybody else is everybody else is white. You've got you've got Bundy and those ladies, but they're white. The only the director of HUD is an Afro American. Susan says it's 567 at Costco. I paid $75 and I already had a quarter of a tank in a Subaru SUV. Mandy says, I wish I could. My company just built a brand new shiny building for some reason. Lovely. Pebble says 3.7 liters equals 1 gallon. Okay. Dickie Jen says 4.5 liters per gallon. Look, ladies, you two are going to have to meet in the middle. Is it 3.7 or is it 4.5? So, so it would be 6 pounds for us. Mom usually spends 20 pounds to half fill her car. Ooh. I'm trying to keep mine full so that I've got the cheaper gas in my car in case the gas goes up some more. The cute women, yeah. And the skinny women, yeah. I'm going to buy UK. You're going to buy the UK gallon. Your gallon and our gallon aren't the same gallon? I thought a gallon was a gallon. Well, I'll be. See? Okay, fine. You're not gonna let me do that unless I do this. Yes, I'm hitting buttons. It'll be okay. Trust me, I'll get there. The UK imperial gallon is approximately 20% larger than the US liquid gallon. A UK gallon equals 4.546 liters, 160 fluid ounces, while a US gallon equals 3.75 liters, which is 128 fluid ounces. Consequently, UK miles per gallon figures are higher than US miles per gallon figures for the same fuel efficiency. Lord help. Who knew? They did not teach me that in school. I thought it was a universal gallon. You had gallons and you had metrics. Yeah. I- yes, Pebble, I agree. Sunita, welcome in. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. I want one of those electric bicycles because my knees are bad. Susan says they're confusing her. Thank you, Jennifer. I learned something new on every live, I'm telling you. Pebble says our public bus system is now free to ride. Mom Donnie said he was going to do that in New York as well. Baby, has he started working on that? They they have taken away our bus stops and they have made metro stations. Um, when I moved out here, there was a bus stop around the corner from my house. Now they have taken up the bus stops, the local bus stops, and all the buses stop at a central station. And when you go to the Metro website and ask for the route from point A to point B so they can tell you what various buses you have to change to, they'll say, take an Uber to the North County Transit Station. Well, if I'm going to take an Uber to the station, I'm just going to take the Uber to where I'm going. Susan says now, Sunitha, hello. My knees are too bad to hop on the bicycle. I can second that, Susan. Sunitha says, better y'all just stay home. Not the accessible vans. Oh, Lord. Well, those are the ones that need to be free. Help. Just help. Does it being free help the wheelchair peeps pebbles? Yeah, she just said no. Oh, the bus is accessible? Jen says, I want an electric bicycle, Sunita, but we went to make room for it, and she laughs. I don't trust the batteries, etc. after so many reported fires. For cars, I know it's different batteries, but so the buses are accessible and they're free, but the vans are not. Okay. Public bus and lower they lower and have a ramp, right? Ours do too, but you have to get off at the bus stop and make your way to where you're going. But we have the vans that will pick you up at your door and take you to the door of where you're going. And you have to give them a window of when you're going to need to be picked up. And then you have to call them to come back to pick you up. Your wheelchair uses boat batteries. Fancy. Fancy. Okay. Anybody else got anything going on in their area that they want to discuss? Besides the madness that's going on around here. Just don't. Just don't. Just don't. I I can't listen to him anymore. It makes my poor little brain just flip flop in my head, and I'm like, no, I can't. I cannot. You're you're so convoluted. I can't follow you. People says yes. 24-hour advance notice for accessible vans with 30-minute scheduling. hmm I I think ours is more than 24 hours. And because my mother used to take the van down to dialysis, and she had scheduled it Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and they always had the headache because they wanted to know what time to come back and pick her up, and she couldn't tell them what time she needed them to come back because they couldn't come back until after her dialysis. Well, if she got there and had to wait before they started her dialysis, then it would be later. I think they're a little more forgiving now, but yeah, back in the 90s, they wanted a start time and a stop time, and if you didn't know your stop time, and I was working, so there wasn't a whole lot I could do about it. And I couldn't take off Monday and Wednesday and Friday, and back then we didn't have FMLA. Yeah, yeah. Chris says, I just found out my city disallowed dispensaries, so taxes go to other places. But they have less tax if they disallow the dispensaries, right? Because they're not collecting money. Tell me if I'm thinking about this crazy. Pebble says exactly. I think wait for doctor, actual appointment, ride home. hmm You can't when you go to the hospital. You can't give them an exact time. There is no exact time in a hospital. Darcia says here in Douglasville they need 3 days in advance. I think that's what. That's what I believe. That's what it was here in St. Louis. I'm not sure now. I'm not because at one point in time they had when they came up with all these stations, they had said they weren't going to have the little uh, vans anymore. But I guess enough people complained that they reinstated. Chris says they raised property taxes to try to compensate. But you're in Illinois. I thought you didn't have property taxes. I think that was one of the perks of living in Illinois. You have property tax, you don't have real estate tax. Yeah. So you're talking about personal property. Or did the did they change it? Correct. Look at me. I remembered something. Okay. So they're going to raise the personal property tax, but they still don't have the real estate tax. Okay. Because we have the real estate over here and personal property. And if you work in St. Louis, you have a St. Louis city tax. So even though I live in the county, I was working in the city, so I had to pay a city tax. Pebble says some Medicare plans offer a $100 taxi card. Oh, that's handy. Sunita says, who says we have property tax? Chris does. Right here. I don't know. Oh, it goes by county. Oh, let's just see what we can do to make it more complicated. Why don't we? So some counties have property taxes and some counties don't. So do the counties who do not have property taxes still have dispensaries? You know, I was going to ask. Darcia says, I found out that certain places here in Georgia have to pay property tax and some counties don't. Interesting. Miss Anita says, oh, I was going to say. Mandy says, wait, not everyone pays property taxes? Apparently not. Apparently it goes by the state and the county. And Illinois does not pay real estate tax. Sunita says, we have too many dispensaries. So you don't have property tax. Pebble says, oh, one lady at Department of Human Services started with people who paid property taxes. I about exploded. How come it was not first come, first served? She started with the people who pay. Somebody. Mandy says, I get raked over the coals every year on property taxes. Yeah, because you've got a van. How many vehicles do you have? And my dealership just sent me a little flyer to trade up my vehicle. I was like, no, number one, I don't like your new vehicles. Number two, you've taken away all of the amenities I like in my vehicle. And number three, I just got my taxes to go down. So no, I'm not paying them any more money. And I like not having a car note. Pebble says, I'm an American citizen moved with military family. Did she take that into consideration? I'm confused. We pay property taxes. Okay, Sunita, do you pay taxes on your vehicles? Mandy says, do you mean home property taxes or like taxes on vehicles? Okay, personal property taxes, which is what we were talking about, is taxes on vehicles. Real estate tax is the tax on your home, and Illinois does not have real estate tax. Chris just informed me that they do have personal property tax. So the counties who do not have dispensaries pay higher personal property tax. Sunita said, when I worked in Lockbox, we processed the payments. Oh. Pebble says, Sunita, if you own property like a home, you pay. That's real estate tax. But some states, like Sunita's state, do not have real estate tax, which is why people were working over here in Missouri, but they were living in Illinois where they didn't have to pay taxes. Sunita says, every May and September. Oh, Pebbles ignored her. Dinky Jen says, I pay about 20% of my council tax. I get government benefit because I work part-time and because I live in my mom's house. It all gets deducted and I pay what's left, which is about £250 per year. That's not bad. Mandy says, oh, we don't pay taxes on vehicles or other personal property. I think you only pay if it's a business-related expense. So do you pay taxes on your home? Sunita says, we do. Do what? Mandy says, we just have to pay registration fee every year for our license tabs. We have that too. Oh, you have real estate. Really? Okay. Maybe that's per county as well, because a couple of the guys I was working with liked living in Illinois because they didn't have to pay real estate tax. But that was some years ago. Pebble says vehicle registration here is based on the value of the vehicle. Same here, which is why I did not upgrade my vehicle, because it would have raised my taxes. Dinky Jen says my mom owns her home too, which counts towards deduction as it's a one person working tax discount. Sunitha says on the home. On the home. You have real estate tax on the home. Have you always had real estate tax? Now I am confused because the boys told me they didn't. Mandy said, yes, our home taxes are crazy high. It's because Minnesota has good school districts, so we have to pay for them somehow, I guess. Yeah, my real estate taxes are incredible. Pebble says, in our county, if eligible, you can deduct some as a renter. Here, the real estate taxes is paid by the homeowner and the sewer. So if you're renting a home, you do not pay the taxes and you do not pay the sewer. You just pay the other utilities unless it's in your lease that the homeowner will pay for everything, but usually the rent's a little higher. And you can't even put the sewer bill in a lessee's name. The sewer company won't do it. The sewer is attached to the home, which is attached to the homeowner. They won't transfer it. Darcia says if you're a homeowner and still pay a mortgage, it comes out with your mortgage payment. Now that is with some states. When you pay it off your home, then you have to pay the property tax. True, and the insurance. Sunitha says yes, every year. Pebble says you rent your home apartment goes to the tax. Oh, that's good. Ours does not. Sunitha says right, Darcia is part of the escrow. Right. Which reminds me, I have to contact my insurance company because I paid my house off, and they sent me the little pamphlet of what my insurance was going to cost, and they told me not to pay it. And then they sent me a letter telling me that they billed my mortgage company, and I'm like, I don't have a mortgage company. So I found the first letter and I paid my insurance, and then I gotta call them and have it transferred over. And they're like, "Well, we billed your mortgage company." I don't have a mortgage. You can't bill them. Well, it is 4:04, everybody, and Pebble says she's not talking about the water sewage bills. Yeah, our sewer company won't even let you put it in your renter's name. They're like, no, it stays in your name. You own the property. And if you don't and you cannot sell your property if you still owe on your sewer bill, the sewer company will put a lien on your home. Darcia says, depend on the state. Some have it as if you're 66 and a half, you don't have to pay school tax in some counties, and some have to pay. Well, I just applied to get a freeze put on my personal property tax, and theoretically for the next 5 years my taxes will not go up. Now after 5 years, if my taxes go up, I have to reapply if they still have the program. Sis Andrea was in here earlier. She said that excuse me, she is going live tonight on Ola Joe, the Crocheting Sailor, at 7 p.m. Eastern, and she's going live at the Pilot House. No, 8 p.m. Eastern, and she's going live at the Pilot House 8 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. I got it right. You responded to my message. Thank you very much, ma'am. I appreciate you. You know I love you. Everybody, stay safe, stay cool. My computer says it's 83 and windy. It was 85 when I came in here. I had to turn on the air because I'm sitting here in carpeting. Um, Crochet well. Love you all. See you all tomorrow. Take care now. Bye bye. And hydrate. Gotta hydrate. Then get up and move. Dinky Jen says tonight is a premiere for Ola Joe and Saturday is alive. Thank you. She did say that. I'm glad you paid attention because I totally forgot that she said that. Dinky Jen, you know I need my mom in my life. Bye bye everybody. Take care now. Stay safe. Stay healthy because we got a new strain of the C going around. So if they are offering boosters in your community, think about getting a booster because we've got a new strain and they said it's deadlier than the other one. Like we need that, right? See you all tomorrow. Love ya.